Hello and welcome to episode 148 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Whip. Say hello.
Hello.
I'm also joined by Drumbly Bumbly. Say hello.
Hello.
How are you lovely gentlemen doing this actually quite comfortably temperatured evening?
I like that even when it's acceptable, we still have to mention it because people have to know we live in Britain. I'm doing okay. You doing okay, Matt?
I am, just to back up the same point. Like, I was just about to it's nice, I went out for 10 minutes and that was the 10 minutes it decided to truck it down and I got soggy. So apparently all we can do is whatever the weather, we have to complain slightly about it.
I went to the gym today, and on my way to the gym I was thrilled because while it was 18 degrees I could still wear my jacket and be kind of uncomfortable, but I could still wear my jacket instead of being dying. And as soon as I got about halfway, it started absolutely pissing it down with rain, and I was like, oh! And I got in, and my gym buddy had already been there for like an hour, and he was like asking me how it was. I was like, mate, I just got caught in the fucking rain. And he was like, oh my god, I'm so jealous. It was very fun. He also described being rained on as delicious, so I think I've discovered he has a secret kink or something, which...
Yeah, nice.
I'm not shaming him.
Maybe. But yeah, so apart from being rained on, you're doing okay?
I forgot to have my protein shake today as well. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
All right. Eat while recording, that's fine.
I know, I feel bad.
Does it count as eating if it's a protein shake?
It's 566 calories, so yes.
It's a very thick drink.
Yeah, I feel like drinking a meal is just a weird concept.
It's not a meal replacement.
Like, let's be honest. When you say you are having soup, do you count that as eating soup or drinking soup?
No, it's drink. You're drinking a beverage because you're a fucking weirdo. You're a degenerate fucking reprobate, and I hate you. So apart from getting rained on, DrummerMatt, how are you?
Yeah, all good. I'm on a slight adrenaline come down because it's Tuesday, so I got a tattoos day Tuesday.
Oh,
tattoo basically.
Well, we haven't asked you what you've been up to apart from that. Stop it.
Tattoos Day earlier.
Tuesday.
And the phrase got stuck in my brain, so I'm going to say it a few times probably.
Okay. Good. Thanks for the forewarning there.
But I'm on a bit of a sort of adrenaline come down slightly, but I'm doing my best.
I'm proud of you.
Okay.
How are you, Snipe?
Fine.
Good.
Thanks for asking. But the thing is, like, you know what? I'm actually kind of excited because it's time to figure out what Spotify thought we were talking about the last podcast, and I cannot wait.
The podcast that is all about how shit Spotify is. Just want to say it just so it has that as the title next time.
I mean,
Spotify is a big stinky bum that poos.
It does mean that for the last episode, 147, after the intro section, it does just have the next section as just Spotify auto-generated titles, which I think it did last time as well. So we're getting consistency there. Okay. It's not super interesting, although I'm not quite sure why one of them is just Babel. Oh, you were talking... Oh, Babel. You were talking about the app. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It was trying to say Gene Stealer Cults. It wrote jeans, as in jeans, wearing trousers.
Yes.
Jeans Dealer Coat.
Okay.
Now I'm imagining a jean stealer being like, "You're right, mate. You want to buy some? You want to buy a Balenciaga bag? Yeah. You know what? No, I've got coats for you. Real nice.
Non-need proxy / thick units.
I got a thick unit for you.
Need some more thick units.
Strictly Manifesto instead of Streetlight Manifesto.
Yeah.
The ones I actually wanted to bring up was the last two because I'm very confused by them, which is Top Lord Calcutron.
Is that a new Transformer I don't know nothing about? Because it might be. No.
Yeah. No. And do you immortalize your music?
That's a deeply, frighteningly philosophical question.
Yeah. But I actually, aside from those, I noticed that because, it does... So Spotify generates subtitles for your podcast.
Yeah.
They're always wrong, but sometimes they're wrong in interesting ways. So I just want to read you... the opening spiel that Snipe says for the last episode.
It will make more sense than anything I actually say. I can guarantee you.
Okay. Hello and welcome to episode 147 of the MisanthroPod.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
I'm Snipe. Where am I? Look, it was your fault for taking a drink whilst I did that. Where am I?
Hi, I'm Snipe. Where am I? Fuck. Whose guitar is that? I don't fucking know.
I think that says it all. Really, I think that's that kind of tells you everything we need from Spotify.
Good.
Where am I? What did I say? It was probably just something about the weather. Probably. Where am I?
I'm Snipe, and as always, that's the line, isn't it?
And as always, where the fuck am I? like we've left the door open. I could be anywhere by now.
I think he might have said, "I'm Snipe," or "Am I?" I think he might have said that.
Yes, I did.
Because you edited that bit in the video version.
Yeah, but now I'm like, I'm Snipe. Where am I? Like really, like ooh.
Yeah.
Where in the world is Snipe? Oh, you'll hear me.
I feel the subtitle bits would make more sense if we remembered what was in the last episode.
Possibly.
Rather than just us all getting the Men in Black memory wipe thing at the end of each episode, which I'm pretty sure is what happens.
I'm pretty sure that's just ADHD. But sure.
I think that says a lot about this podcast. The 148 episodes in, and we functionally have to start from first principles every single time.
Yeah, welcome to episode 1 of the MisanthroPod. Where am I? My family probably
you've been hit by the memory eraser one too many times, and the neurons are really starting to fade now.
Yeah, it's just my brain just ain't working. But I mean, if that means I'm married to Vincent D'Onofrio, then I reckon I can take that hit.
I don't think you remember the events of that movie.
It's because they fucking Vincent D'Onofrio did the what is it? The fucking it's like it's a
memory eraser.
Memory eraser. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember the name of it.
Vincent D'Onofrio was also eaten and then worn by a bug.
Oh, some people have all the luck.
Like the character he's playing, it's Edgar, isn't it?
Yes, Edgar. Yeah. Oh, I thought his name was Edgar for the longest time because the woman's accent. She was like, Edgar, your skin is hanging off your bones. And I was like, Edgar's a weird name, but it is the American South. Who fucking knows? And then, it was like, oh, I'm embarrassed. And then I realized as an adult I had hearing loss. So, that makes a lot of sense as well.
My point was he's only actually Edgar and not a horrendous giant cockroach wearing human skin for about 2 minutes of the movie. So.
I think I prefer the bug because he's probably less... I would say the bug wouldn't have voted for Trump, if I'm honest.
Edgar would.
Edgar would have
the
done.
Bug wouldn't
Edgar would have turned on him immediately saying that he wasn't enough of a racist. Whereas the bug's just like, I don't care. The bug would probably just go, I'm not voting, I'm just killing all of you and eating you and bleh.
The bug would describe himself as politically homeless.
The bug has probably killed less people than Trump.
Yeah. So,
This is true.
God, that movie was fucking weird.
It really was. I never really heard anyone talk about it because they obviously did multiple Men in Black movies. I remember seeing the second one. And
then one was not good.
They did a third one that I never saw. And then they did, was it Men in Black International recently that was basically made... The trailer, I was watching it and going well, this is just made for bisexuals.
Well, it had, Chris Hemsworth in it. And it had, what's her name? Tessa. Is it Tessa something? She played Valkyrie.
Oh, her, yeah. I'm not sure about it.
And I'm like, okay, this is making bisexuals have, slip into cardiac arrest, so good on you.
Before you said that, I was about to say, have you watched the newish one? I don't even know if it's the newest one, but the newish one. whenever it was out. And I can't remember much about it apart from being pleasantly surprised about how good it was.
Yeah, I think that was Men in Black International.
But, yeah,
that one,
checks out.
Who's going first?
Me.
You. Snipe.
Ugh.
When you're not
I had a bit of grit.
having grit.
Yeah.
Grit. Don't drink
Been eating
grit.
gravel?
My protein shake, you idiots.
Because
I use the powder.
You say
and...
that as if it explains it. Like, does that make
It does, because
no
it's like
clearer
you
to me?
put powder in it, you put milk in it, and then you shake it violently, like you're jerking off an elephant. And then sometimes there can
Is
be
that
little
part of the
speckles.
exercise? That's like the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you get some people going, I don't like this shaker because it's just so hard to use. And I'm like, you're a bucking weightlifter. Shake it properly. That's a personal bugbear I have.
two-handed.
Yeah, under your leg, like, you know. Otherwise, you're going to get lumps. I got a lump of grit, which doesn't count because I don't shake them lumpy, but occasionally grit slips through. You can quote me on that.
Good.
Can you please tell us about literally anything else you've been doing?
So I've been jerking off elephant. No, you fucking put that as a chapter title, Spotify. You goddamn coward. Okay. So, I've not really been up to much. I've been having a bit of a tough mental health kind of time. But I've been going to, and I'll put like a content warning and stuff like this here, in case you want to skip it. So my editing voice will come in and tell you when to skip if you don't want to listen to me talking about my breast cancer support group. If you'd like to give this part a miss, just skip to 21 minutes. Okay, so I've been going to, this is my second meeting, breast cancer support group that I went to. The first one was kind of weird because we drank
Wimbledon
Prosecco.
themed, wasn't it?
It was Wimbledon themed, and I'm like, as if I don't have enough problems.
Having tennis inflicted upon you.
Yeah, it wasn't my favourite thing, but we got like, I think it was like, if you pay £1, you get free tea and coffee, but it's a charity kind of thing, so I don't mind. And if you paid an extra £1, you got Prosecco as well, and some strawberries and some cream, because that seems to be a Wimbledon thing. Yeah. And we did a quiz on Wimbledon, and I was like...
Did you get any?
Yes, I think I got one, because it was how many tons of strawberries are consumed over the Wimbledon fucking whatever, and I said something like 17 tons, and it was like, yeah, it's like 18, so I got a point. And I got one out of like 25.
I have it's not a Wimbledon fact, but it's a tennis fact that I learned the other day, and I haven't followed it up, so it might be bullshit. But I like
my favourite kind of fact.
I don't want to find out that it's not true.
So don't tell us.
Okay, first quiz question.
Yes.
Seeing as we're doing Wimbledon quiz, if someone is scoring 0 in a game, we don't call it 0. What do we call it?
Love.
No.
Love.
Oh wait,
do you know? Yeah, love.
I thought love was like
the scoring system
both.
makes no sense. It goes deuce is if you both have 40. Love is if you have 0, and then it goes like for obvious reasons it goes 15, 30, 40. And then you win or you don't, depending on how many points the other person has.
I mean,
anyway,
I'm sorry. If you
bullshit
if you
aside, do you know where the phrase "love" for 0 comes from? No. Allegedly,
no.
It comes from French.
Okay.
Oh,
love.
The egg.
The egg.
The egg.
Because eggs are round like a 0.
No, it isn't. It's like that. They're
Oh yeah,
egg-shaped.
okay, not exactly round, but vaguely round. I
think...
love that, and I'm like, I don't know, 51% sure it's bullshit, but I don't want to find out and be pointed to. No one prove me otherwise. I love this fact.
I feel like there are certain facts where you just, if you keep saying them, eventually they will
enough
become
people
true.
Believe it. Yeah.
Okay, don't even joke about that. Also, I think one egg is enough. Okay, anyway, so we went there and talked about football or fucking whatever, I don't know. I was
also
like...
for anyone that bypassed for the content warning and is missing out on this brilliant tennis egg content.
They're going to be so upset they don't know about egg. You'll like, comment, and subscribe if egg. Please? So I went and I was like, oh, and like everyone, like, for like, there was a moment, like a 5-minute segment of I think it was like 2 hours, the hangout is. They started talking about how good AI was, and I was like, oh, these are not my people. And I got really uncomfortable. Especially because, I didn't know anyone there and I was on my own. And
Yeah.
I
Presumably it was your first time, but it wasn't all of their first time.
Yeah, exactly.
I assume that because I assume it's like a rolling. You just
it's just every month.
So it's not everyone starting a new thing, so they all potentially know each other or at least have met before.
Yeah, and I felt real bad because there was one guy there who's like the husband of one of the women who also kind of organizes it, and like. He went in for a hug and I kind of pushed him away and forced him into a handshake because I was like, I felt so bad because it was obviously like I did not read the room and I was so guarded, and this is honestly on me and being autistic as well as being like deeply anxious. So I was just kind of like, no, we're shaking hands. Don't touch me.
I don't know. I think regardless
of
the situation,
he seemed to really go with it easy, but I'm sorry.
Going for a hug from a stranger is, I would advise not.
Yeah.
As a general rule.
Yeah.
Unless the vibe is very like,
There's a lot of context, but as if I'm like,
and it is generally wise when it comes to strangers to just not.
Yeah.
Like someone who wants a hug and doesn't get one will be less disappointed and upset than someone who doesn't want a hug and does get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I prefer...
I got that the way around.
Yeah.
Right. I prefer it's like, if you're not sure, please do ask. And I think, like, because they're all a bit older than me. So I don't think that's kind of a thing. Because around, like, our generation, a bit younger, we tend to be sluts for consent. So, like, it's very much like, can I give you a hug? And if someone goes, and then you go, okay, fine. It's that kind of thing. Whereas he just kind of... And I think... Because it seems to be quite a huggy kind of friendly thing, and I'm like, I'm just not, especially around this topic, I'm not really into that. So no, but I mean, to be fair, again, he took it really well. He wasn't like sooky about it or nothing. He was just like, He just kind of rolled with it. He was like, okay, fine. And the next time I went in, which was like last week, I think, there was only a handful of people I recognized, which was weird. I thought that. Yeah, I thought, like, Drummer, what you said, where, like, you go in and everyone's been there since, like, 2 years and they'll know each other, and I was like, hi. But yeah, it was a lot nicer. There was some other younger ladies in who were currently going through treatment, and I was just like, oh no, I can't be near them. But I was very brave, because the reason I'm going is because it's, like, being sick has fucking destroyed me mentally. So I'm trying to get better. Because they just, like, they kind of turn you loose after you've had your surgery and everything and you're in remission. They just kind of go, okay, bye. And it's like, oh. And more so now, which is so cool, because when I was going through treatment, they offered you 6 free counselling sessions with Bupa that's from Macmillan, but they don't offer that anymore. And I'm like, oh, great. Yeah, that's definitely something that people going through probably the worst time of their lives don't need counselling or anything. Yeah, you're right. And it was just, we all kind of went around in a circle. And I was like, there was a lady there, I think, who's kind of like clicked with me. I don't know. She seems quite nice. And she seemed quite willing to kind of talk to me and stuff. She's apparently like a marathon runner. Oh, she's like 7 weeks post-surgery, and she's kind of like, talking about how she's like, oh yeah, I hate that, I have trouble like doing anything, and I used to run marathons like every other week, and now I'm like, oh, I can't like climb the stairs, and I'm like, I got to me and I was like, yeah, I'm weightlifter. I hated that too. I just kind of, I think I needed that a lot. I've just kind of talking about this. I've been wanting to go back to my cancer vlogs, because when I first started doing them on my channel, I was kind of like upbeat, full of piss and vinegar, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and like, because you kind of think you're kind of, as when you have cancer, you are brutally pressured by people. And I'm not saying people that love me or anything, but just people in general, just society at large, to be the kind of, it's hard, but I'm doing all right, and you don't want to depress the people who aren't sick. That's a real hefty kind of like miasma you get on you of, you can't be seen to be just miserable. You have to keep it in. And that's like, that's kind of what I was doing, I think. And I just kind of dropped off. I got like loads of comments basically making fun of me for being sick. I had one very recently on my latest one, which was like a good few years ago, which was getting really mad at me because they couldn't figure out what my accent was. And I'm like, yeah, fucking eat a pin, dickhead.
Yeah, that's like, definitely the thing to take away from that is confusion of your accent.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, get mad at me for that. And it's like, I wanted to do an update where I'm like, hey, fuck pretending this is fun. And yeah, like, I'm working through that. And I'd like to think I'm getting a little bit better. But it is really, really, really difficult. Because I'm coming up to my second year in remission in October. And they're going to want to check me over and make sure everything's okay. And I'm shitting that, but I'm sure I'll keep everyone updated. But yeah, so I'm proud of myself because Jesus fucking Christ is this scary. And I'm getting on okay. So, and I'll leave it there so it's not like a huge fucking gap. So, on to nicer stuff. I completely forgot, and I did put it in a voiceover in the edit last time, but I started a podcast with Adam from our band called Driverless Horses, and the first official episode's gone live today.
You should put up a pilot first.
I put up a pilot first, which is like 2 hours long, and we were just kind of grasping in the dark, and trying to figure out what kind of worked. And like the first one, the pilot was a bit scattershot. The proper one that I uploaded today, we're a lot more honed in on like the format, and the next one, which I have to edit, which we have already recorded because we did it like a little bit because I was like really nervous, is a hell of a lot more zoned in, and like kind of I think we've really cracked it with the third one. So yeah, I'm
again, we're 148 episodes through this one, and I'm not sure we've cracked this.
Yeah,
so
no,
3 episodes is pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely fucking like dunking on this podcast. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, apart from just like, going to the gym and surviving, I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, I've been having fun at the gym. So that's nice. DrummerMatt, what have you been up to, you dirty boy?
I've done all sorts of stuff that aren't relevant for the podcast. What have I done? Oh, I ran a triathlon. Did I tell you I was going to do a triathlon?
Oh, yeah, I didn't realise you'd actually done that. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't drown. So
I mean, evidently, but also good.
Wait, is that the one where you run, bike, and then swim?
First.
You swim?
Swim first, then bike, then run. So, but what?
What? you swim, and then you get on a bike with a sandy butthole and see how long you can take to, like, make glass.
A wet butthole, yeah.
Yeah.
At first glance, it seems like a mad way to do it, but I assume, if you think about it for a second, you're like, getting people to do either one of the bike or run or both before the swim, and then sending people who are already knackered into swim is just not a good idea.
Yeah, I assume people drown.
That's why
like
the swim is first.
Yeah.
But then it means that you do your bike ride and the run when you're wet, which is interesting. But yeah, it was fun. I got out of it swam in the harbour side. It was just in Bristol, and it was in the harbour. And I got out, and the adrenaline pump from having not drowned, I just loved the next 2 bits of it, and it was like on a massive adrenaline high from having not died.
Can I ask you a question, great. Matt? Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Do you get that every time you encounter water?
No, but I've never I can swim, but I've never tried to swim any distance or done open water swimming before. And this was feasibly, it's deep and it's dark and murky. And yeah, it actually felt really safe, and there was loads of lifeguards around or pootling about on paddleboards. And I've no doubt that if someone was struggling, it would have been fine. But it was a non-zero chance that, it was more dangerous than just swimming in a pool where if you drown, it's clear water and the lifeguard sees you and they're never far from the side sort of thing. You're just in the harbour and it's dark water and a bit scary.
It is because I remember a little while ago we went to Cornwall and we went in the sea and swum quite a way out, and I think that was the furthest I'd ever swum out into open water, and you do kind of go I'm confident enough in my swimming ability to be able to not have a problem, But also, I'm very aware of how little guardrails are on me right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about how it is in swimming in Australia. You get drop-offs and shit like that.
Yeah.
And you gotta swim between the flags, otherwise the...
and then assorted things that want to kill you.
Yeah.
There's like a billion things. Like, even before you get to like the obvious like great white sharks and things, you've got blue-ringed octopus and box jellyfish and all sorts.
Portuguese men of war. You know.
Oh, did you get those around there?
There was one, I think, when I was a kid, spotted around the coastline, and everyone was like, if you go in the ocean, we'll fucking have snipers kill you, because that's way more humane than letting the Portuguese man of war touch you, because those things are fucking horrible. Yeah. And then I remembered the Baywatch episode about it, which scared the fuck out of me.
You know, they're not a single animal. They're like
they're
a colony.
Yeah. You tell me that twice a week.
Good. It's an important fact to know.
I'm so glad I know it. But yeah, I'm glad you didn't drown. Good on you. How hard?
Yes, good on you for not drowning.
Was it really cold?
No, it was weirdly warm.
Gross.
So, yeah, I was expecting it. So when we picked up so for context, I mean, it's hard to be given a number in temperature and work out if that's going to feel cold or hot. But so for context, if the water temperature is below 16 degrees Celsius, you have to wear wets. This is like UK triathlon governing body rules or whatever. Yeah, regulations, whatever. If it's below 16, you have to wear a wetsuit. And if it's above, these might not be the exact numbers, but it's something like this. I think it's below 16, you have to wear a wetsuit, and above 24, you're not allowed to wear a wetsuit. And in between, you can choose. So I was like, well, I wear one because it helps you float, if nothing else. Like, you know.
Feels
but when I picked
to
up,
put on.
It does, and I didn't want to like people who do proper triathlons and do them more often get like a swimming wetsuit. It's like thinner material on your shoulders and things. Could have done that, but they're like, you know, £100 or whatever.
Yeah.
At Lidl, the week after I signed up for it, was selling wetsuits for £30.
Of course,
that'll do. That's fine. I'm only. The timing was perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm only doing the one. It's only, you know, I'm only going to be in the water for 20 minutes or so. Like, that's fine. But yeah, well, it was fine. It probably didn't make much of a difference, but it was a little bit more uncomfortable to swim in. But yeah, so the day before when I picked up the bib, there was a sign on the side of the water, because you pick up the bib near the start, and presumably to warn pissed people not to dive in and do something stupid at night. But there was a big sign saying, do not get close to the edge, don't jump in, don't fall in, the water barely gets above 10 degrees, it's not pleasant, don't do it, you pissed person.
Yeah.
So I spent the night before being like, 10 degrees, that's like cold. It's going to be like the initial jump in. I know the wetsuit sort of keeps you warm a bit, but you've got to get the cold water in first to then get the wetsuit effect going. So I spent the night being like, oh, this is going to be horrible. And then we got there, and they do like a water quality check in the morning to make sure it's not too full of like poo or whatever.
This is the UK after all.
This is the UK. All of our rivers are mostly made of shit because the water companies are dicks and give all the money to shareholders. Anyway, that's aside.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that.
Renationalise the water.
Yeah, capitalism has ruined everything.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was like, they do a water check, but then they also do a temperature check, and turned out the water temperature was like 21 degrees. So it was like it was getting close to the temperature where we wouldn't have been allowed to wear a wetsuit.
Yeah.
So I was like, once I heard that, I was like, oh, I'm much less nervous. And I was like, turns out, because you know you're not consciously aware of what you're nervous about. I was like, turns out a lot of my nerves before this were about the water being too cold, apparently. So I was like, okay,
dear.
I was still, a bit nervous because I'd not done it before, but. Yeah, it was fun.
What did you find?
Can recommend, maybe.
I'm a weightlifter. That would literally, I'd die. Cardio.
Yeah, well,
is
I had the advantage. Like, I run and I cycle anyway, so it was literally. I was like, if I can get through the swim, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Were you aiming for like a particular time or anything?
No. I was like, it's the first one I do. Like, any time I get, it's going to be a personal best. So like,
that's fair. That's
great.
Great. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. Did you have a favourite part of it?
Well, yeah, probably the bike ride, but mostly because it was like the bit closest to the getting out of the pool adrenaline spike of not dying.
Yeah.
So I just did the whole bike ride with just a massive grin on my face, and then by the time you get to the run, the adrenaline had come down a bit, and I was just knackered. So it was like, okay, that was fine, but whatever. But the bike ride was really fun because I was just like on like a proper high. It's amazing what like just bodies can do in terms of like. Hormones and things.
Don't get me started on that. I will not shut up about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was the hardest part apart from the anxiety of not drowning?
I mean, well, the start of the swim, because you get in and you're all nervous and things. So I pushed too hard, so I got like the swim is like 750 meters. It was in the harbour, and you go do like a few lengths basically. Yeah. And I got to like about 100 meters in probably, and I was just knackered. I was like, "What have I signed up for?"
Knowing you need to pace yourself.
I'm like halfway up the first straight, and I've got another there's like 4 straights to go, sort of thing. Being like, "Oh my, what have I done?" And I was like, no, I just need to slow down. Because you can't, that's the thing, if you're training in a pool, you can rest at either end. And even training, I did a few training swims in like an open water swimming lake thing near here. But the water's never deeper than like this, so like you can just stop and put your feet down.
Yeah.
At any point. Whereas this is deep and it's like a harbour, you can't do that. So I was like, I can't stop, I've got to keep going. So I was like, just slow down, take it easy. And then once I got into my rhythm, I was okay. But that first 100 meters or so, I'm just like, the sort of, not quite panic, but the like, what have I signed up for? Yeah. What is happening? And I can't stop this. Now I'm in. I've just got to keep going. Like you can't just stop swimming and then bail out. I mean I'm sure if you're in like an emergency, you could, and the lifeguards would come get you. But
there is a non-zero percentage of people who have started a triathlon, got 100 meters into it, and gone, "Fuck this for a game of soldiers," and then just left.
I mean, that's probably true. But
who was that?
Yeah,
there was a Japanese guy who ran like a marathon or something like that in like the 50s, who officially finished like 6 years ago.
Yeah,
because he started the marathon and then he went and he asked someone if he could have a nap in like their garden, and then he just forgot he was in a marathon and fucked off.
I can't remember, was it a Japanese guy but the marathon was somewhere else? Or
yeah,
someone from
and
somewhere
then
else.
He went home, I think, and then he realised,
and didn't tell the organisers that he'd bailed, and he was like officially a missing person for ages.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, that I was in that marathon. They said that I've never finished, and I'm officially a missing person in that country." And then he just shows up and they go, "Okay, well, here's the finish line," and he's like, "Yay!" And they're like, "Okay, your official time is 38 years, well, like nearly 60 years."
If you can't get the best time, get the worst time.
I mean, in Australia, we give you the wooden spoon trophy if you're the last, so you know.
Yeah, I think they've probably stopped doing that. Things like sports days now,
because it really is just like, let's make fun of the slowest child. Which is what schools do anyway, speaking as someone who was classified as one of the slowest, so...
But yeah, that used to be a thing. I remember my parents talking about it. I didn't get it, but then I did absolutely everything I could to never have anything to do with sports day. It may shock you to know, given everything you know about me, but I am not a sporty person.
I have tried so hard to try and find something at the gym that you can engage with, and it's like, you'll be on the treadmill, and you're like, "I'm bored." I'm like, "Okay, great." And then you're on the cross trainer, and I'm like, and you're like, I am currently exercising. Yeah, and then I ask you if you want to lift weights, and you're like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay."
It would snap him, to be fair.
I have, like, every time you do something new, except for anything you tell me that's got like an Eastern European name before it, those I refuse to do.
To be fair,
but everything else,
that's true.
I'll give it a shot.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you did
certainly picking up a heavy thing and doing a thing with it.
Oh, what is it? I think my my max on my the tricep extension machine, which is like it simulates you getting out of a chair basically. It's like 2 arms and you push them down.
Oh, so do you have to go like?
No, you have to kind of sit still and lean forward, and your arms are they start up around like the upper part of your chest, and then you kind of just use your arms to push the 2 handles down as far as they can go, and then they come up. My maximum with that, I think, when I was doing, I think it's hypertrophic training, which is basically 5x5, was like 150 pounds. Wib did, I think, did you do 1 or 2 at 120, which is my standard strength training ones?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah.
And you were like, fuck this. I could, yeah, and I was like, thank you for trying it and making me feel big and tough and scary. But I know that like you hate the fly machine, which is basically the one where you kind of you push up 2 pads from like you act like you're an old robot. And you
that's because every time that you would put me on a new machine, I'd find a thing that I didn't know I had in my entire life, which is that when I raise my arm up to about
you on the
like
lat
90,
pull, which is you get like the grass bar above your head and you pull it down.
90 degrees with this arm, and like there's like a dead spot around here that feels wrong when it goes above that. It's fine when it's actually fine when it's above it. It's fine when it's below it. But at that exact point, I've got a real weakness that I don't have in my other shoulder. That I find when you put me on some diabolical machine, and then I do it, and then one of my arms is like about to collapse, and the other one's fine, and I'm like, oh no, this does not feel safe. This feels not right.
It's going to be really funny because I've given Adam access to my gym guest pass because he's like, oh yeah, I really want to go to the gym, and I'm like, come with me, and he's like, okay, and I'm like, right.
Fool boy.
Yeah. The thing is, I've got to make sure I don't take Adam there when my gym buddy's there, because my gym buddy's going to make me be too nice to him, and I want to be mean. My gym buddy's too nice, and I'm like, no, he's going on the seated dip at my level. You know, obviously it's just fun to tease and haze, but I'm not going to actually be a dick. I'm going to begrudgingly be nice. Because I taught him, he came round to record the podcast, and he was talking about how Decathlon, which is a sports store in the UK, has this magic self-service checkout box that if you dump an armload of products into, it will know what it is. And he was like, it's so crazy. And he was like, I'll take you sometime. I was like, okay. And he was like, we could go now. And I went, yeah. So we got up and we drove for like 25 minutes to Decathlon and had a wander around. Bought socks, dropped them in, and we're like, oh, that's amazing. And then drove 25 minutes back. It was worth it, I'm going to be honest. And we found out we were like puzzling all the way home. Got back, showed Wib the packet of socks. He looked and went, there's an RFID chip. It says it here. And we were like, oh, okay.
I mean, that was my guess when I was told how it worked. I was like, that's going to be an RFID thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, and like I was showing him some lifts in there. I was like, oh, this is a Zotman curl. And he did one Zotman curl, which is basically you stand upright, and you have a barbell in each arm, and you put your arms like thumb facing forward, straight down. You lift them up in a bicep curl to like kind of there. You twist, and then you lower them down again. And what that does is it targets your your forearm, and your arms as well. He did like 2 and went, I can't do no. And I'm like, okay, cool. Fine. And he still wants to come to the gym with me. So I'm like, ooh, I get to torture a friend. I love that. That's so cool.
I will say, Matt, have you done anything like media related? Because I have realised that on this ostensibly media based podcast, we have not talked about
I wasn't going
to
talk about. I was only going to mention the triathlon thing in passing.
So
I have vaguely other things to talk about.
Okay.
So last weekend we were at 2000 Trees. So I was just going to mention quickly a few bands that we saw that were fun. 2 of the headliners were Kneecap and Coheed, which was
Free Palestine.
Fun. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Kneecap. Yeah, I mean it's a good time to see them because it was very busy and very well. I mean, I'm sure they're always good fun.
I saw, and I just want to quickly touch on this. I saw because Bob Villain, very cool. Is a punk band. There's I think there's 2 guys.
Yeah, it's like a punk rap band.
Really cool. Piers Morgan was like, they've cancelled his visa, and I think that's good. And it's like, you are apparently a journalist, and you don't know that Bob Villain is not one person? Wow. I'm sure that's not indicative of any kind of personal integrity.
Are you suggesting that Piers Morgan doesn't do his journalistic duty?
I'm suggesting we set him on fire, throw him off a cliff, and then piss on his corpse is what I'm fucking saying. And you can quote me on that because I'm going to have to censor that because actionable threats are a thing.
But yeah, he wasn't he originally fired from the News of the World for the phone hacking scandal?
Oh yeah, for that dead girl's fucking phone that he hacked.
Yeah.
So integrity is not a word that is synonymous with that creature.
No. It's weird how he's just been allowed to just exist as like a media figure after that. And people just forget that that's why we know who he is.
Well, it's almost as if centrists be like, it didn't harm me personally, though. So who can... And then they turn around after us saying for 15 years, hey, don't let this person get in power otherwise it's going to be fascism, and them going, oh, everyone you disagree with is a fascist, and now they're like, how could we have known fascism is alive? And you're like, gee, how could you possibly have figured it out?
Who could have possibly guessed?
It's not even as if... Anyway. Sorry, DrummerMatt, tell us about the media you consumed at 2003, the year.
2003.
2003 trees. They added 3 more trees.
Wow. Decadence.
They had one every 4 years. I've been going for a long time.
Oh.
It's a very fun festival if anyone fancies a festival. It's like a medium-sized one it's like 15,000 people, I think. I thought it was 10, but I think I read somewhere 15, but it still feels quite small. We got to go backstage this year, actually, and explore the backstage bit, which was fun.
Like, did they know you were doing that? Or?
Yeah, one of my brother's bands was playing, so...
To be fair, your brother is like...
He's currently drumming for a band called Riding the Low, who are Paddy Considine's band. So I met Paddy Considine over the weekend, who is in assorted TV and films. Most recently, he was in House of the Dragon as Viserys or one of the Targaryens. I don't know.
Whichever really plays guitar. I'm guessing everyone's a fucking guitarist. No offense.
He's vocalist.
Does he play guitar as well?
He doesn't. No, they have 2 other guitarists.
Oh, how unique! Wow.
But anyway,
that's a musician joke. You don't let it be mad.
Because I've been there for 12 or 13 times now. And hadn't seen backstage before, so that was quite fun.
Nice.
Anyway, name dropping aside, just a few recommendations of some of the just a few of the bands that we saw that are sort of not the biggest band necessarily, so people might not have heard. I don't know. I feel like if you know Coheed and like them, you like them, and if you don't, at this point, you're not into them, and that's fine. Like, I don't need to. They're not like an up and coming band that need help. You know, likewise with Kneecap, like if at this point you haven't heard about them and heard about what they stand for and their songs, like saying something isn't going to influence you.
Yeah.
So 4 quick bands I wanted to recommend people check out if they fancy it. Band called Snakes.
I like Snakes.
Snakes.
Well, it's spelled SNAYX. And it's really upsetting because when I first saw it, I thought it was SNAXX, and their band was just called Snacks. And I was like, Snacks is an excellent name.
I'd love some snacks.
It's not Snacks, it's Snakes, which is still quite a fun band name, but
I do
not
have
quite
a
snacks.
snack, but I don't want to eat it on camera.
Do not. You're not eating on the podcast. That is not allowed.
No.
Also, I'm allowed to drink a protein shake, which you guys said was eating.
Well, you said that was drinking.
I was on team drinking. I think you drink a protein shake. You don't eat a protein shake.
I mean,
drinking
depends
is
how
fine.
thick you have it, but okay.
I mean, it could be argued that you ate the gritty bit.
I did, but also that's kind of like, if you get like a bit of crisp in your teeth and you don't get it out for hours, and then you're like, ooh.
By this metric, I would say that boba tea is on the fucking line.
Okay, boba tea is fucking amazing. You just hate taking mouth shots. I was hoping I could make DrummerMatt choke on his drink, but no.
I don't like the feeling of having a drink that has popping things inside of it. I feel like I'm drinking frog spawn.
Yeah, that's why. But it's
that.
like hygienic, so it's delicious.
Oh yeah, the frog spawn's fine as long as it's been properly cleaned.
Yeah. Don't want to be weird.
Look. Different people have different standards, and that's just that's a line I have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like drinks that have an edible component.
You like milkshakes that are basically just ice cream.
But they're just ice cream, but like watery.
Would you put chocolate chips?
It's not chewy. There's no popping.
Well, I mean,
involved.
boba isn't chewy. The little peachy kind of things I have aren't chewy. They just kind of
go pop though.
Yeah, they're tasty.
Yeah, and that's really unsettling.
Okay. Because I remember I got really excited about trying it, and then you were like, I guess I'll try it, and then you had one, and then I had to drink 2.
Yeah, because I was like, I can't.
I was like double fisting boba tea.
This ain't right.
Like the most fucking like, I don't even know what, but it was ridiculous. It was amazing.
Anyway, Matt, other bands.
Yes.
Snakes, not snacks.
They're like punk, but with like not quite rap vocals, but like, there's sort of the modernish punk trend of like the sort of spoken, not quite spoken word, but like spoken rap adjacent sort of lyrics. They've got a song called Boys in Blue, which does exactly what you expect it to do from a punk band.
Good.
with a song about cops.
Yeah.
Unpeople were very good. They played like quite early on the main stage, and they had a huge crowd, and then like way bigger than like the 3 or 4 at least bands, and afterwards until it got to sort of headliner territory.
Well, those are the ones that your brother recommended to us the other.
Yeah, they used to be in Press to Mecco, like 2 or 3 of them, and it's sort of similar-ish. It's like quite riffy, quite heavy, lovely like harmonies and melodic vocal bits. They're really good, and I think a lot of people think they're going to get big. Or, completely crash. Like possibly one of those bands. That seems to be the trajectory of bands, but I don't know. But they're very good. Vukovi, they've been going for quite a while.
That rings a bell.
Yeah,
there's like,
I know them.
I think it might be a 2-piece, but there's 3 live. But I think the drummer might not actually be in the band, possibly.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, they're a 2-piece because it's I can't remember
guitarist and a vocalist.
Yeah, because I think the name Vukovi, it means like wolves in a language. I'm not sure which language.
Okay,
no, I think I've got a couple of the I've got an album or something in my playlist. But
it's again very riffy and sort of heavy, but then like I don't want to say mega pop, but pretty pop-esque sort of vocal, big choruses and things. They're very Scottish, like, and there's the singer. She is very like just. I'm not going to try and do a Scottish accent because I'll offend everyone.
Yeah.
But like, just at the end of the song, she was just like, "Fuck me, this is hot," and it's like it's such a polished like music set. Like it's like they've got an image and they've got a sound. It's all this, and then the song finishes and it's just sort of like, "Fucking hell!" Like, look at all you and all that sort of stuff. The stage was really hot, and she was like, at one point, she was like saying about how she was wearing Crocs rather than presumably. I don't know if she normally performs barefoot or whatever, but it was last weekend it was like 30-odd degrees and the main stage faces the sun.
Oh, fuck that.
So it just heats up. So it cannot be pleasant. At the end of the set, she was like, "Right, whose Crocs are these? I want to give them back," because we missed the very start of the set. Presumably she'd just stolen someone's Crocs from the crowd because she had hot feet. I don't know. Yeah, they're really funny in between songs, and the songs are fun. And then Sprints, who we've seen quite a few times, but like an Irish punk type thing, who are very, very good. So yeah, 4 quick band recommendations.
Cool.
Other thing I wanted to mention is I have built some Gene Stealers.
Nice.
I haven't built any models for a long time, and I was sort of putting it off. I think I was getting a bit nervous about it. Yeah, but I have, because I think when I got my Tau Army, I didn't build any of them from the official kit.
You bought them all second hand, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I bought all of them second hand.
Where Lefty came from.
Some of them already assembled and some of them not quite assembled, but I didn't have like the boxes or all on sprues properly and all that sort of stuff. And also, that was a fucking long time ago.
Yeah.
So opening a new box with like instructions, and there's a page on there and it just says like what all the different guns are and which like part number they all are, and I was like, I thought you were meant to guess this stuff. What is it? And like they're not the most obvious, like they're not IKEA like crystal clear pictogram things. Like
I'd say 40k instructions are way easier to follow than IKEA ones. Speaking as someone who's recently put an IKEA thing together.
I would argue IKEA. I know they get a lot of jokes about it because it seems to be trendy to do that.
I think maybe IKEA builds are just getting worse.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I think IKEA. I'm always impressed with IKEA instructions. They're like the fact that they do it without any words or without any language, so they can send them anywhere.
Do you know there is actual pornography of the IKEA manual man?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, rule 34?
Very well done, yes. But yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know. People who are Googling it, you're welcome. There's like 2 apparently. But there's probably
more. Is it like 2D animated, or is it people like people dressed up as?
I think there's one where he's like got his dick out or something.
Because it could go either way, right? You could be in a very... I feel like the costume you'd be wearing would be both elaborate and overly simplistic all at once. It'd be shit, but you'd spend far too long making it.
What I'm seeing is, when people do the costumes where they're kind of like 2D costumes, so it's like made of like card or whatever, so that on one side they're completely flat, and so they can like animate the character. Like I saw a guy who does really good like sprites, like NES sprites and things like that cosplay, but it only looks right from one angle. It'd be that, but with your dick out.
Yeah, with a hole in it. And
yeah.
It just reminds me of the Lego Movie live-action porn parody where they're like they've painted their faces like Lego yellow and they're wearing the thing, and then the guy's just got his dick out, and I'm like, it was going so well.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. You got to wonder if porn actors just stand there occasionally and just go, okay.
It's a living.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to make a fun story to party, so I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I made a unit for using the instructions and like from scratch and everything for the first time in a long time.
Nasty boy.
/ possible. No, as a kid I got units new, but I think they were a lot more. They weren't quite monopose back then, but they were a lot less flexible in the amount of options you had. Especially, I was playing, Warhammer Fantasy. Like you got a unit of spearmen, and it was just 20 blokes that just all looked the same.
Yeah, the Gene Stealer Cults line isn't the most modern line or anything, but it's definitely
2019. I think it said on the sprues, which isn't like. But I don't know if that was like if they released specific sprues for the combat patrol box rather than.
Oh, some parts of it will parts of it come from different times, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not 100% in line with the current trends.
Okay.
Where everything is one way, you build it one way, but with more. Well, say one way, it's like one pose. But it can have multiple bits of war gear is the kind of general way they tend to do it now. So none of the multi-part Space Marines where they've got interchangeable arms and you can combine like 50 different kits together. That's not really a thing anymore with most modern kits anyway.
Yeah, I was really disappointed putting together my Khorne Berserkers and just being like, oh, it's this guy again. They're really cool, but I'm like, could I just make... It's like, well, you can have this guy's arm angling that way or a little bit lower. I'm like, wow, it's a different miniature.
But yeah, I remember the Gene Stealer Cults being a little bit more... What the ones I put together are a little bit more in the older, sort of, the slightly older style. So they've got a lot more sort of like freedom in how you put them together.
Yeah. I mean, I've got, limited reference frame for it, but it seemed like there was a lot of parts and I've got a lot of spare parts already, which is quite nice. But I built up a unit of hybrid metamorphs who are the most alienish looking dudes. Like before you get to your like aberrants and things that are just actually all completely...
Literally just a
They're still wearing like human clothes, but they've got their feet sticking out and they've got 3 arms and weird heads and things. But I figured, like, I think I said last time, my plan is to make up that unit, paint up that with a few different paint styles, and then probably not end up using them in the army. But I was like, this way, I don't waste any of the other spares that I might end up using for units that I want to. So I was like, I'll make them the most alien I can. So then I'm not upset when I've used up all the parts for the other bits. But I was like, I'll do this just as a practice because I've not done it for ages, and we'll give it a go.
Yeah, a sensible way. And to be fair, if you do end up wanting to use them and you want to like mess them, you can strip the paint off. It's not difficult.
Yeah. No, I'm not entirely writing them off, but I do I'm getting pretty settled on my sort of less alien army. But I was like, no, let's not dive into that because the first few I do are just going to be I'm going to make schoolboy errors, or I'm going to not settle on a paint theme or whatever. So yeah, it was fun doing some hobbying because I've not had an evening of hobbying for a long time.
Yeah.
Got a proper cricked neck. I need to work on my posture, I think.
Oh, you've been shrimped up at a desk hanging over,
You used to learn how to paint like that, leaning back.
Yeah, well, this was assembly. I haven't worked out. That wouldn't. If I'm using not contrast, but the contrast equivalent one, I'm a bit worried about. I'm just gonna just drip it all into my.
Then you just kind of shake them up beforehand.
I'll just get blobs on my face all over.
Yeah, just make sure you don't get it in your eyes.
Yeah, that's fine. You can charge extra if it goes. Wait,
you could charge extra for that.
Let's maybe leave this cul-de-sac.
But yeah, it was fun. I did some hobbying.
Good.
Hopefully, I will endeavour to get some painting done before next time. I was telling myself, I was like, I need to build a unit or do something before the next podcast recording, and then it got to last night, and I was like, shit. Let's do the thing.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's me.
No, it isn't.
No? What else have I done?
No, you have an elbow.
Oh, I do have an elbow. Over that way. I got this is. Did I mention I got a new tattoo today?
You did, but
Yes.
we weren't
got the second
recording.
skin on, so you can't really see it, and it's all a bit red and weird.
It's
like,
on.
I can't turn it the right way around because
Yeah.
I can't stand up. And
It's on DrummerMatt's elbow, and it's like a face with its eyes shut and like a sun.
like a sun face thing, and it fits. When I messaged him saying I'm going to go elbow, I was expecting it to be this sort of size, and then when he printed off the first go of it, and I was like, that's a lot bigger than I planned, but cool, let's go with it.
Tattoos tend to be.
Yeah. My general rule is go big or go home on these things.
Well,
so.
I mean, like, I remember when I first got I can't see it but yeah, my big space wolf crest on my upper arm, because that was my first tattoo, and I went in and I was talking to the lady Lucy who did my tattoo, who was awesome, and she was like, it's gonna have to be kind of big, and I was like, okay. And she was like, obviously this is a conversation and a struggle she has with a lot of clients, and she was like, no, I mean, like, it's gonna be like big and like 10 inches. And I was like, okay. She was like, and she showed me, she was like, no, it's like this big. I'm like, I know, I play Warhammer, I know how long that is. And she was like, oh yeah, okay, let's get. And then she was just like, oh, okay, because she was like, you would be surprised how many people come in and go, can I have like the Garden of Earthly Delights by Hieronymus Bosch, but can it be 3 inches by 3 inches?
I'm feeling very personally attacked right now.
Okay, you need to tell everyone though.
Oh yeah, I've got a tattoo booked.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's
You weird little dude.
Weird little guy.
weird little dude,
guy.
Weird little guy.
But this is a weird little frog from Hieronymus Bosch's Garden of Earthly Delights.
Nice.
And saw a local tattoo artist, Snipe did, and was like, hey, this person looks like they might be good for your thing. And they'd actually done a frog in like full plate armor before.
Like a human-sized kind of frog.
Like a human-sized one. I was like, oh, that might work actually really well to do, because the little frog thing is just kind of a little frog thing. There's not really much to it. So it needed something more, and then giving it like ramshackle armor on it, like, felt that would be a fun way to do it. So yeah,
okay.
Getting a weird little armored frog on my forearm.
Ah, awesome. When are you doing that?
September, yes.
So we can save up for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, I can't wait for your weird little guy. It's going to be so fun. And I'm glad that you put some armor on it, because like that's always a really important thing, I think. Because you can just have like, because, you know, I have one copied out of a book. But it's like, you know, and that might work for a lot of people. But ultimately, if you can think to change it a little bit, I would recommend doing it, because the tattoo artist will be more engaged and it will feel a little bit more special. So, but also, fucking, if you want like the Berserk logo on your fucking eye, then fine, do that. I don't care. I'm not your parent.
Loads of people have the Berserk like icon, whatever it means.
Oh, I don't know.
I've never watched Berserk
I don't know.
or read.
I wish I could get into Berserk. I just can't.
I prefer Berserk in its original form as the Souls series.
Okay. I am not gonna be looking at those comments. It's like I said to Adam, was this, I don't think this podcast episode isn't out yet, so this is backstage tea. He was talking to me about the Halo like Netflix series, and I went, oh, I love that. I think they should make a game out of it. And he stopped. And he was like, well, they have. Well, it is a game. And I'm like, I know, I'm fucking with you. And he was like, oh, good. And I was like, yeah, because I said to our friend Longfang, because he's a massive Halo nerd who hates the Netflix show because obviously it's terrible.
It's not a Netflix show, by the way.
I'm sure it was. Well,
it's on Paramount Plus.
Literally, it's Netflix but blue. Are you happy now?
Yeah, I know, but like,
another
you will get people telling you it's not Netflix.
Streaming, so don't
Netflix,
care.
but less people have it.
Yeah, and
it's the one with Star Trek on it.
Okay. But yeah, and I was saying to Longfang, and I was like, oh yeah, I think it characterized Master Chief really well, and he went quiet, and I was like, yep. And he was like, I know you're fucking taking the piss, but I'm still kind of mad. It still stings. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I should shut up. I'm sorry. I tortured that poor man. He does not deserve it. But yeah, no, good on your tattoo looks really good, dude. Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. Tattoos hurt.
Yeah, I have another elbow one, but that was hand poke, and you don't. Yeah,
hand poke seems to me like I think that would hurt way more. personally.
No, it's like rather than being like hand poke is like stab, 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 whereas machine is like
I kind of prefer
stabbed at presumably 50 odd times a second, or what I assume it runs at main frequency. I don't know.
I have no idea.
You know, it's weird. I actually heard this exact same thing from Jordan from the Knowledge Fight podcast. Recently had a hand poke tattoo, and he was saying the exact same thing. He's like, "Yeah, no, this was a dream to have done. Like, it's the individual stabbings, like no worries,
Basically,
but like
don't feel it.
Yeah,
that's weird to me. That's weird. But
it's
yeah,
just like you're being stabbed less often. I guess over a longer time, if you want to.
it feels inefficient.
Poles, I don't know. Yeah, but it gets a different look. So it depends what you're after in terms of time. Yeah, it takes a lot longer.
You know what's really funny?
Like this elbow is dramatically bigger and the positioning took a while, but the actual tattooing took 2 hours, whereas the tattooing time for this elbow took like 8 hours, I think.
Well, I mean that's hand poke as well, so that's.
But I mean that's what I mean. It took like 4 times longer, and it's smaller than this one.
So I remember, like, was it you, DrummerMatt? Because I know a bunch of people with a lot of tattoos. But I think, was it you I was talking to where you were like, getting a piercing sounds terrifying?
Yeah, I can't. I really want to force myself to do it to get over it, but I just can't quite
get
make
a Jacob's ladder. That'd be so cute.
I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming I don't want it. No, I want just like a little loop, like in my ear, somewhere in my ear or something, just as a fairly. But I also don't like the idea of like tattoos heal in a few weeks, and like piercings you have to like properly clean.
Yep.
For like
you have to clean
months.
Twice a day with 0.9% saline.
Yeah, that sounds like too much effort.
It is. I prefer healing tattoos to healing piercings, and I've healed 1 or 2. I'd say if you want a piercing that is no fuss. And heals really quickly. Get your septum pierced. That was literally the easiest piercing I've ever had, and I've had 30.
Is that septum?
That's your septum. It's tricky to get. Yeah,
it's the nose, by the way.
It's the tip of your nose in the middle. Wib, do you want to explain? Because you were there when I had my septum pierced.
Oh yeah, you were like really nervous going into it because you had no idea what to expect because all your other piercings have been on your ears and you've got a lot of them and unfortunately you've lost a few over the years. So
thanks to chemo, I lost 3 during chemo, so I'm in the process of getting them redone.
Yeah, you've had more piercings than you currently have piercings.
Yes, I've had a lot.
But you'd not had a nose done, so you had no idea. Frame of reference, I remember the woman setting up and I could see how nervous you were. And
I'm still really powerful and brave.
and then she put it through, and I just watched the realization happen on your face of going, oh, actually, this is no big deal at all.
Well, she put the clamps in, and she was looking for the sweet spot because there's like, there's a sweet spot where you get your cartilage done. And
for audio listeners, Snipe has both fingers knuckle deep in her nose.
Yeah, hi everyone, check me out. And get the clamps in there, and then they like right through, and I was like. I do the thing, you know, you kind of like brace, you like, ugh. And then it happened, I was like, oh. I I wish it had hurt
healed,
more.
Like, it healed like lightning fast.
It healed so quick, especially because, like, you know, you get your cartilage piercings at the top. They heal very slowly because the blood supply is a lot less, like lobes and stuff. Lobes take about a year to fully heal. Don't get pierced at fucking Claire's or anything.
Don't have that much patience.
It's like I said, if you want an easy piercing, you just want to experience it. And the thing is, you won't be able to visibly see a scar in your nose if you get a septum piercing. So just,
true.
I know a couple of really good piercing parlors. So if you want, I'll come and hang out with you because I love piercing. So, and yeah, and it'll be healed in no time. And I think you look really good with a septum piercing.
Welcome to the MisanthroPod, your premier sports and body modification podcast now, I guess.
I do refer to myself frequently as a joth, which is a jock goth. I like weightlifting and wearing black.
I thought he said my what I thought he said joth, and I was like, oh, a gym goth. Wait, no, that's just a goth.
That's a joth.
That doesn't work.
That's
with the
like
letters.
the Jeff GEOFF of gym goths.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I think.
Wib. Are we on to you yet?
Yes. Hello.
Have you had any body modifications or run any triathlons or entered any weightlifting competitions recently?
I've barely done fucking out, mate.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode of the MisanthroPod.
No, I've been very busy with work, honestly. As you might, behind me there is a bunch of stuff set up for filming the next Codex Compliant. Which
why is there a bad dragon in the background?
Because you left it in here when you...
I forgot to wrap it up for DrummerMatt, my bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the shifting of blame that was so effortless.
Hey, I'm just going to own it.
Yeah. You are, because I'm going to give it to you as a present in your butt.
Anyway, so I've not had as much time for doing things as I would like. So I've mostly just been playing. I've been carrying on, messing around with Siege mode and Space Marine.
I've been loving that. I've been really enjoying that.
Leveling up certain characters, whatever.
So just DrummerMatt trying not to yawn like. Sorry, that was very fun.
It's okay. You can yawn when I'm talking. I'm used to it.
My medicine is wearing off, and I've had a big gym day, so I'm like. Dying anyway.
I've played more on stream. I had a couple more sessions of playing Clash Artifacts of Chaos, the Xenoclash game that I talked about last time.
With Riverboat Scrope or whatever.
Yeah, where you play as a weird scrope man called Pseudo. It's I've got a bit further in it, and I've officially hit the part of the game at which you desperately need to know mechanics the game does not tell you about. Like, you want a second health kit. You want a second Estus, basically, because it's, like I think I described it, it's kind of Dark Souls-y, but also not. It's gotten more Dark Souls-y as time's gone on. Snipe, stop eating your headphone cable.
I just...
you are on video.
And you could hear it as well.
Yes.
Just to make you feel a bit better.
Thanks, that's helping.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, if you want to get a second Estus, because you get one by default, you have to go into the nighttime realm and go to a certain place and fight a particular guy.
This sounds like glory hole instructions. I'm so not about. It's like, go to this gas station at 3 a.m. and you'll get a magical Tinkerbell reach around. And it's like, that's too much effort for me. I'll just have a pot noodle and jack off at home. Thank you, gas station graffiti. I'm not interested.
That is a very good analogy, dear.
Thank you. Yeah. I just can't. You wouldn't believe it, but I just came up with it off the top of my head. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You could not tell.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
So yeah, I've encountered that part where it's just like it's like, oh, by the way, this is a thing in the game. This is a mechanic. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I've actually gone to look things up, and it's like, oh, by the way, if you want to do this, you need to do this. I'm like, okay, the game never told me that. The game never told me that's how that worked. So I've actually been doing some stuff off stream as well, just to like do some grinding in the background to do some things that I hadn't been doing on stream, so I don't just have to like do a lot of backtracking and stuff on stream. But yeah, so that's been interesting. I've had so the things, the tiny indecipherable blobs that if you're on video you can see behind me are miniatures I've been painting for the next video. So I've had to paint I think about like, I've been doing it over like a long sped of time, but there's like 9 I've had to paint specifically for this video, and I'm a very slow painter, so that's taken a non-insignificant amount of time. So I've just been like watching old things, because I can't really do that and watch something new, because you are not the old things.
I've got grey hair.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, I like older men.
My grey is natural.
My grey's natural. How dare you?
One day you're going to let your natural hair colour grow out normally for a bit, and you're going to go, wait, this is actually already... What?
This is fucking awesome! I don't have to fucking spend God knows how many hours dealing with my hair. Awesome.
But so I ended up rewatching the Star Wars prequels, mostly because I rewatched the Obi-Wan series.
Indira Varma.
Which is fun enough for what it is. Watching it a second time, I knew I was left with like some weird, Not like I hated it or anything. It's Star Wars. They're my stories. I enjoy even when Star Wars is bad. I tend to enjoy.
I like it when Chewbacca went.
I like it when there's I like it when the spaceships go pew pew and there's the zoomies and the lightsabers and things. You know, I
like it when the laser sword hits the other laser sword and then they go, "Oh no, you're my dad, didn't ya? Ah, fucking hell! What?
That's called Jeremy fucking Kyle.
Fucking Star Wars Jeremy Kyle edition. I wonder who he's gonna force into suicide. Fuck Jeremy Kyle. That poor man. Anyway.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
My medication is wearing off. This is why some people among us have children.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We move on.
Okay, I'm just looking at DrummerMatt having children as we speak.
But yeah, so watching Obi-Wan, which I kind of realised the issues I kind of had with it. I realised that like there's definite parts of that script where you're like that needed another go over. Like there's a few like things of people doing and saying things that like you can tell really like don't really gel super well. Like just little moment to moment things. There's some nice character moments and stuff, but like just individual bits and pieces. I'm like, okay. I say that as if Star Wars is a masterwork of this normally. Yeah,
I mean, I'll say what I said to you at the time. I think I like it because they got some incredible actors in, and it's like Ewan McGregor, Indira Varma. You got I can't remember the little girl who plays Leia. She's awesome.
She's great. She's
really amazing.
She's adorable.
The lady who plays Reva, she's incredible. I'm obsessed with her. And obviously, you know, Hayden Christensen as well. And it's like, okay,
Hayden Christensen come back and not be directed by George Lucas, so he's
he can like, you know, actually do well. But yeah, no, that's just I think I'm so willing to forgive so many issues just because I'm like I could happily watch those actors just read the menu of like a Wendy's and I'd be like, yes.
Yeah, it's really it's really buoyed by Ewan McGregor just being his Obi-Wan Kenobi is so just a very very endearing character, which led me to go, you know what? It's been a while since I've watched the prequels. I should rewatch the prequels, so I did.
Should you?
It turns out that the romance part of Attack of the Clones gets worse every time you watch it. Shock horror. No two humans have ever kind of interacted like this. Like it's one thing to have like Anakin being a weird freak, like him being like going up to Padme after like 10 years and being like, you remember me as being a 10-year-old, but I really want to kiss your mouth now.
That is way more romantic.
My dad is so mean. My dad, who's also my brother, who's also my boss, is so mean. Sometimes I like him, but he's so mean. And that being like the introduction, and that apparently charming her is a very peculiar thing, and it only gets weirder from there. But I didn't actually want to talk about Star Wars.
Really?
No, I've talked about this stuff before, so I just wanted to acknowledge it, that is the thing I've done. Because what I really wanted to talk about was the other thing that I did. So whilst I've been like rewatching stuff, I've also been just watching random YouTube videos. And one channel that I started watching is a channel called The Real Gyms. I'm
listening. Okay.
From that name, you would not guess what they do, but what they do is Simpsons lore videos, and I'm like, what? Fucking sure, man. Because there is the interesting thing of that, because I think there's 36 seasons of the show now. So that and because it's been going since 1989, it's been going for so long that there's so many contradictions. The timeline floats so much. Like in the recent episodes, Marge and Homer got married in the 90s, as opposed to in the 70s, which it was originally, or at least they got together in the 70s. And so, like, you know, these things sort of like, there's a floating timeline and so many contradictory things that having someone go through and say, this is what has happened to this character over the course of this many things is actually kind of genuinely interesting. Or trying to answer, like, what's this guy's deal? Like, you know, and it's really, really kind of interesting stuff. Like, I appreciate it. Which led me to do a couple of things, which is one, watch a couple of episodes of the most recent series, because every now and again I do check in with The Simpsons to see if it's how it is. Because I find the series as in general fascinating, because very few series get to, you know, climb the hill and get to peak cultural relevance, to be the biggest, like the biggest show in the world, and then fall, and then go on for another 25 years. The only other show I can actually think to compare to it is Red Dwarf, as in a show that started in the 80s, had its peak during the 90s, then slumped into kind of mediocrity. Well, actually, it slumped into season 8, which is just out and out fucking trash. But then kind of became just okay, and has just kind of been going ever since at that same level of like, yeah, it's all right.
I think that
it's not
kind of
amazing
points
anymore.
It's
all right.
Points out a devastatingly upsetting fact about human psychology, is that we would rather something still exist and be a shadow of its former self and actually be quite shit and terrible and everyone knows it is because it was once great than ever try something new.
This is true.
Let those fucking actors retire. Jeez, they sound like they're dying. It's upsetting.
Is the big thing. So like one of the things that makes Red Dwarf at least a little different is that each series is like 6 episodes and there's like 14 series in total. From like 80, I want to say 85 or something. So mid-80s sometime that the first series of Red Dwarf came out. And so that's obviously been going for a long time, but like each series, each season is like 6 episodes originally, and then later they I think there's some that have weird numbers, like Back to Earth is only 3 and technically is like season 9.
Isn't that the one that your dad always says is shit wank for twats? Or is that?
I mean, it is shit wank. Well, it's very different. It's more serious Red Dwarf. It's
okay.
But anyway, and much like Red Dwarf, the thing with The Simpsons, as you mentioned, is that watching a new series, the biggest thing from it is less that it's shit now, because I don't think it's necessarily like bad, but what it is tired. All of the actors are so, you can just hear how much they've aged. The humor is just not as dense and well, like the intricately kind of structured jokes that you get like back in the day. That's just not present at all. The jokes aren't like unfunny for the most part. They're not like laugh out loud funny. I don't think there's any joke from modern Simpsons that is going to or any turn of phrase that is going to stick in people's minds. Like you can pick any episode of like the golden era of The Simpsons, and there's a line in like every other episode that people quote to this day, whether it be, you know, dental plan or fucking whatever.
One of my favorites is, $20, but $20 is good. It's better than peanuts. Explain, because he's talking to his brain. He goes, money can be exchanged for goods and services, and he's like, yes!
As was the style at the time. There's so many little turns of phrase that just get that would just stick with you.
Old man yells at clown.
And that's not really present in the modern series, but yeah, mostly it just feels tired. You just like, this show should have ended a long time ago. It's not terrible, it's just whatever. But what that did make me go is like, now I'm saying that, but I haven't seen the classic era in decades. I've not sat down and watched an old episode of The Simpsons in ages and ages. And so I was like, and you know what I've not seen for even longer? The really early seasons, like season 1 and season 2, which is before it got quote-unquote good. And so I've started watching season 1, which starts off with like the Christmas special where they get the dog, Santa's Little Helper. And yeah, the early Simpsons is fucking weird.
You were telling me about that one that I didn't remember until you told me about, where like Homer loses a job and gets depressed, so he decides to like end his life, and he's like carrying a huge rock to the bridge. It's like it's like what?
Yeah, basically
the fuck?
he gets fired from the nuclear power plant, where he's working a different job to the one you remember him working, and he's looking for work. He can't find it, and he's just like, "Oh, my family will be better off without me." And he's just like, "Well, guess I best fucking kill myself." And you're like, "Okay, what the fuck?" And then he like grabs a boulder, ties himself to it, and he goes off walking to the bridge. The family shows up to tell him no, and then he pushes them out of the way of a car. And then he's like, "No, I'm not going to end it all anymore. I am going to. I've got a new thing in life. I am going to get a sign placed on this bridge to tell people to slow down." And you're like, "What?" And then the rest of the episode's about him on a crusade for like putting up signs, and then he then becomes the safety guy at the nuclear power plant.
I love how the suicidal ideation is a setup to the main plot,
weird.
which is him going, "This bridge is dangerous for cars."
There's like Bart the Genius, I think it's called, where he switches his tests
with Martin. Yeah, Dorcas Malorcas. I still use that.
He gets put into a special school for like geniuses, and the central thing of the episode is like him maintaining the lie, mostly because it actually gives him like a healthy father-son relationship with Homer, which he normally doesn't have, and so they actually have a loving relationship for a hot minute there, and that's kind of the big thing, is that before each of the characters sort of splintered off, and they do start doing this just a few episodes into the series, but like at the very early part, they haven't got these really defined traits yet. So they're just a dysfunctional family. That's the thing about them, and all of them are kind of dysfunctional in sort of different ways, but they're much more sentimental about each other in ways that seems weird, even when you think about like the golden era sort of stuff, where there were sentimental episodes, and they're the ones that people tend to remember. Lisa's substitute, the one where Homer finds his mum.
Yeah, that one literally just thinking, remembering it can make me tear up. Jesus Christ.
Like it's always had that streak, but like it's very prevalent there, and the jokes are paced differently. Every now and again there is like a real like top tier, like that's a good Simpsons sight gag, like I think it's Bart the General, I think it's called, where he's getting bullied by Nelson and getting beaten up after every day, and he like rolls in a trash can as Lisa's just sitting on the stoop, and he just crawls out the thing and then just coughs up his entire baseball cap. And then later on, he comes back again, coughs up his hat, and just hangs it up. Like, this is just a standard thing. Like little sight gags like that are like you can see where the classic Simpsons came from. But it means that there's odd moments of like bleakness as well, like in Moanin' Lisa, it's called, which is the one where Bleeding Gums Murphy comes from. And I always remember this episode because it's like, "Lisa, why aren't you playing dodgeball?" And she's just like, "I'm too sad." And as someone that suffers from depression, it's just like, oh fuck, now I know, now I have a diagnosis for that. This episode hits different, and hits even worse because there's a bit in it where after learning about that Lisa's just generally sad, Marge is remembering her own mother saying like, "Now you've got to smile no matter how you feel on the inside, because seeing how big a smile is tells everyone how good a mummy I am." Oh, and God, so you see like Marge going out with like a strained smile, and like in one of the I think it's the second episode, there's like the company picnic, and Marge just gets absolutely fucking off her face drunk during it, and it's like, wow, she's a much sloppier character in these early days, just really really interesting. But yeah, this is, like I said, this is from the 1989 like original run, so the animation's very, I don't want to say sloppy, because it's not actually really sloppy, it's just a lot less contained. Like, things are much more willing to go off model, because I guess the models weren't as firmly established. And there's a lot of, and there's, like, dream sequence things that go a little harder than later ones would in terms of how abstract they're willing to get. Again, because they're a little looser with things, feels a bit more like a more traditional cartoon in that way. Also, the kids feel a little bit more like actual kids, as opposed to like the weird nefarious demons they become later, because they're cartoon characters, and all cartoon characters, as you give them more to do, they have to start doing things that are not childlike. So it's interesting. There's like the combination, like there's this sincerity and this cynicalness. And I know the cynicalness is very Matt Groening, because if you've ever read the Life and Hell comics that he did before The Simpsons, they are cynical as fuck. Really interesting to read. But it did. And the one thing I want to say that really, really made me happy is I have had a mystery in my fucking head for like a decade. There is a song. Now, it's been used in a lot of things. The one thing I was always able to pin it to is, do you remember the sketch show called The Fast Show?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
And there was the hikers who would wander around going, Valdere, Valdera, Valdera, singing a song like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is a real song, and I knew I'd heard it somewhere before, and I knew it was in a cartoon, and I'd seen it as a kid, and I remembered it transitioning into another piece of music, and it was so firmly in my head, but because, how the fuck do you even know what that song is? How do you search for that?
Well, okay. If you just hum into Google now, it can try and figure it out. But also, I know the Google employees are laughing at how off tune I am, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm shy.
And so the thing is, even if I could find the song, I was like, but I wouldn't know where I was singing from. I really wanted to know, and I finally found out. It is in the episode Call of the Simpsons, which I had on VHS with I think it was a couple of other episodes on it. I can't remember what the other ones were. Might have been Bart the Genius, might have been one of the other ones, but it had that on it. And it extensively uses the song, which is called, because I found it out afterwards, The Happy Wanderer is what it's actually called. And it was used extensively throughout that episode. So finally, I have been able to, earlier today, close that book of knowing where I'd heard it and what it's called. By the way, it was a just post-World War II German song originally.
That tracks, yeah.
So a lot of people think it's like an old folk song, but it's actually not. It is a 20th century song.
Let me ask you something. Webbo, who's your favourite Simpsons character? And DrummerMatt as well. I want to know yours.
I don't know. There's a lot that have really, really fun, like, utility in a story.
I really like Fat Tony. I think he's
fun. Do you know that he's been replaced?
No, they have not.
In the modern series, there was an episode where they killed him off, and he was replaced by his like cousin, Fit Tony.
Your joke, you are yanking my
who
friend,
then starts eating more, and he just becomes he is just drawn the same as Fat Tony now. So
what the fuck? It's real.
Do they still call him Fit Tony?
What the? Hang on.
No, I think they have started just calling it.
What the
continuity?
Fuck?
Yeah.
Fit.
Yeah, it's true.
That's why I like Fat Tony.
Actually, do you know what it might be? It might be Edna Krabappel.
She's pretty amazing. Yeah.
I like.
You kind of married her, so you know.
As I grow older, I actually kind of appreciate the character was this deeply cynical character, but I always appreciated that every now and again there was that little spark that said she does actually care way more than she lets on. And I know they did a bunch of stuff with her, like after I stopped watching it, like she got married. She actually got married to. No, she didn't get married. They were engaged. She was engaged to Skinner.
Yeah,
for
and
like
then they
6
called
years.
it off because she was like.
Then they called it off. And then eventually she ended up with Ned Flanders, and then sadly the actress died, and so they didn't carry on using her in the show because they were like, yeah, and they had an episode where they like
said goodbye. Yeah.
Said goodbye. But yeah, it might be Edna Krabappel.
I think that's a really good choice. DrummerMatt, what about you?
I'm desperately trying to think. I used to love The Simpsons. Was a big part of my childhood.
I think
the fact when it
because
used to be on
people our age, I think it was just a huge part.
It was on at like 6 o'clock on Channel 4. I want to say
it was a big deal. I remember when Who Shot Mr. Burns was on. That was like a huge fucking deal.
In Australia, growing up, there were news segments on like people going, "We just don't know," and like at school while we were trading Tazos and shit, we were like, "Oh, it's got to be like this fucking guy shot Mr. Burns," and then we'd be like, "No," and then like have a fight, and the kangaroo would come in because Australia, haha. But and like it was just like literally everyone was talking about it, and around the time The Simpsons was on, the streets would be barren. Like nobody would leave their house because back in our day, whippersnappers, we couldn't get shit on demand. We just if
Simpsons
it was on TV
at this time,
and if you miss it, fuck you. And I remember just like. I think they had, like... Because leading up to the reveal, they were talking about, like, oh, we've got the Who Shot Mr. Burns, like, episode that shows you who shot Mr. Burns. And then, like, after that, they had, like, an hour documentary about, like... And they were like, oh, make sure you stay watching, because then after this, we'll talk about that. And I remember watching it being like, oh... Like, just glued to the TV.
Because didn't they do like an episode between which was like a kind of
like who has the motives
like
and stuff like
explaining the who's got motives and like trying to go through the mystery and try and like lead people along the way, which is and like that's the kind of stuff it had a much bigger
cultural inertia.
Watching the early stuff, you can see how it got that. Like, it's still not fully formed into the era that is the most well-known and regarded era. It's not there yet. But you can see where the sparks of, like, there is that cynicism, but there's also that sincerity and the absurdist jokes happen. Like, I remembered when I was watching the episode with the Happy Wanderer in it, Call of the Wild. Call of the Simpsons. And there's like a moment which, as soon as it started happening, I was like, oh fuck, I remember this joke now, which is Homer making a snare trap to catch a rabbit, like from a sapling.
God,
and then they wait for it, and then the sapling like flicks up, and it just flings the rabbit.
It
like
fucking whips it into a canyon. And then they watch it. Away. They're like watching it, and then they're like the scene hangs in silence, and then you hear a and I'm like I was like nearly in tears as a child. I was like, is the bunny gonna be okay? My father was like, no,
the bunny is not
dead.
Okay.
And I was like I was horrified. Also,
but I wonder if that episode also, because that's the one where Homer is mistaken for Bigfoot, I wonder if that planted the seeds for my fascination with cryptids.
And love of hucking rabbits into ravines.
I mean, it doesn't actually get hooked. It doesn't actually go into a ravine. It gets hooked into the forest.
I remember being really spooked by the episode where Bart's gonna jump the fucking Springfield Gorge or whatever on his skateboard, and Homer accidentally does it. And then he, like, falls down and hits it. And, I remember being, like, quite... because he was, like, properly bleeding and stuff. And I was just, like...
And then when they're like, helicopters...
And, like he's getting bashing his...
the whole way back up again.
I felt so bad. I was classic. Like, oh... And that's when I realised in a therapy session that my autism comes with hyperempathy. Because I was, like, on the verge of crying when I saw it. Even though it was just a bit of a mean joke. And I was just like... Oh... He just loves his son, I guess, because but
it's interesting to watch again. I'm going to carry on watching it. I probably won't mention it again unless something in future podcasts.
We will never mention The Simpsons again, listeners. Thank you.
But I don't know how far I'll go because again, there's 36 fucking seasons, and I might be able to I might get through like up to like season 10ish, which I think is where I last saw properly. Because I'd occasionally check in with like a few episodes. I remember like probably I remember checking in like around like maybe season like 20 or something and going like, oh, this is real bad. I think that's like peak it trying to be Family Guy years.
Have you seen the Family Guy Simpsons crossover? Because I have, and it fucking sucks. It is horrible. And I'm not talking about kind of just like, oh yeah, they shouldn't have done that because it just doesn't. No, it's fucking awful. It's like, I was fucking mad about it because like they have the thing where they kind of narratively go, okay, so here is the dads kind of show how different they are with how they deal with things, and the mums do that, and it shows you how different they are. And then it was like they paired fucking Stewie and Bart together, and it was like they made like Bart was like, oh, I do prank calls at the local bar, and he shows like, okay, so he phones up and he's like, he comes out like, oh, I can see more butts, whatever. And then he's like, haha, now you try it. And he goes, okay. And then Stewie calls up and he's basically like screaming that he's going to like essay Moe's family. And I'm like, wow. This is reminding me of a Marxist utopia because it's classless. It was really fucking like gross. And I was like, okay, you didn't need to fucking do that, but it does show, especially, I mean, Seth MacFarlane has weirdly written some incredibly wonderfully progressive sci-fi, which is weird from the Family Guy guy. Yeah, like what the fuck? But then like you see, because that was still when Family Guy was still something people like would get excited about, and it was just kind of like, oh, you are really just, you didn't know what to do there, did you? So you just got really edgy.
Yeah, there is an interesting thing that like watching it is like, so. There's obviously basically nothing outside of like Coronation Street and shows like that.
Please do a crossover Coronation Street with Family Guy. That would be funny.
As long as The Simpsons. The Simpsons running for 36 seasons is absurd. Like so few shows get to that kind of length. So to expect that there's really no rules about how a show keeps it together over that sort of course of time, especially one that is locked to a time period, because the kids can't grow up, like, because then it's not The Simpsons anymore. Unless it's a future episode, but we put that to one side.
I always did like the glimpses into the future episodes, because I think it was just the promise of something changing. Because as a long-time comic book fan, The Simpsons is just a TV cartoon version of that, where, the like, you know, being a Jason Todd fan, which is pain, it's kind of like, anytime there's a story with Jason Todd in it, it's always he does something that makes the family distrust him, or he's corrupted by something which makes the family distrust him, or there's a misunderstanding. It's literally the same fucking story, because everything has to be able to go back to normal. And it's fucking tedious.
The Simpsons suffers from that really bad because it is a show.
It's any kind of story that has to go on that long is just like, it. How can it be good? Like, it's unfair to expect it.
And so I was thinking about other shows that have had really long runs like that, and I thought the only fair comparison I can actually think of, because so like, I guess you could say South Park, but I haven't paid attention to that in a long time, and frankly, I've got no patience for it. Yeah. Whereas the closest thing I can think of is sort of in the present day is Bob's Burgers, which I think is on season 15. So that's a pretty long-running series, yeah.
That's crazy.
And I'm like,
still going.
Yeah. Wow. And I really like Bob's Burgers. I think it's good to this day. Like the first season or so is a bit rough. I think it starts off like trying to be a little edgy, and it sort of settles. It settles away from that. Like, Louise kind of starts off a little bit too much of a Stewie Griffin. But then they kind of go, no, actually, she's a way more compelling character when she's just a kid who like, the things she can do that sort of make her who she is are things that a young kid could learn to do if they wanted to, like lockpicking.
Really easy. Yeah.
But
I've heard.
But I'm like, but over the course of it, I think it's aged. It is like been consistently good, and it feels like it's not had the floating timeline problem as much as The Simpsons had in sort of the same sort of time period. And I think one of the reasons is I kind of feel like The Simpsons walked so that these other shows could run. They learnt ways to do things and formulas that work so they could borrow from that. So that's obviously like not fair to pin them against each other like that. And the fact that The Simpsons was iconoclastic, it was this, it was the subversive show when it was made, because it was to subvert the wholesome family thing, because they were a dysfunctional family. The whole early episode where they go to therapy with Marvin Monroe,
zapping each other,
the zappy thing. That's like an explicit statement of that. But then The Simpsons became the thing to subvert, and that's how you ended up with things like South Park that go way further. But I think one of the other things that helps is that since The Simpsons started, it started in the late 80s. How different is our day-to-day life of how we interact with just technology and how we get news and how we just do things, how media works since then? How different is it? Like, it is incomparable. So many things seem really weird in the early things. Even if there's like weird little things in The Simpsons now, like because their home has to look the same. Their TV looks like their classic TV, but you see it from a side profile. It's a flat screen. It's fucking weird. It looks strange. Whereas Bob's Burgers, starting, I think around 2010 it would be.
Jeez.
Like, on some level, the world, though obviously things have changed in the last 15 years, a lot of the things of the way that we interact with technology have kind of been the same since then. There's things that have changed, obviously, but like I don't think there's been those huge shifts that make something feel completely alien and like make it feel completely out of its time yet. So I think that kind of it's looked out in that regard of like, yeah, people started Bob's Burgers with like they were using flip phones, but they were using them because they were old then. Like, because that was like a bit of like they had an old knackered phone, and now their old knackered phone is a busted smartphone. Like, but that was also around when the show started. So I don't know. I think there's a bit of that of like certain elements of the timeline. I don't notice the fact that the kids have been the same age for 15 years in the same way that I do with The Simpsons.
Well, with The Simpsons, you've got jokes like, when they're all out at a town meeting and the thug Snake is like robbing people and he steals a VCR, which is something that used to happen, like stealing a stereo out of a car. That was a big thing back then. Like, people breaking into your car and stealing your stereo, people breaking into your house and stealing your VCR, because TVs were so fucking big you couldn't carry one, but VCRs you could. And he pulls out a VCR and he goes, "Oh no, it's beta," or what? And I'm like, that nobody knows what that is. Because it's like, that was, okay, for you youngsters, beta was like, it was a thing like a VCR, which was better, but I don't think they did pornography, which is what killed it.
Not actually true.
Is that not? True. I'm lying to you. No. But yeah, it was not widely adapted, whereas VCR was. So
it was, if I remember correctly, it was slightly better. It was better in quality, but you couldn't record as much.
Well, for whatever reason,
there's also go watch Technology Connections YouTube channel. He has a lot of things talking about like Betamax and like what the actual differences are.
Yeah, so things like that kids just won't fucking get. It's like, I remember, like my brother, he's 6 years younger than me, and I remember seeing talking about the Flintstones. Because I think we were watching Family Guy because I was at college. It was like 100 years ago. Don't judge me. I needed the money. And we were watching it, and there was that kind of gag where they have they put the giant rack of ribs on Joe, like they do in the intro to the Flintstones, and he kind of wobbles and falls over. And I was like, "Oh yeah, Flintstones." He was like, "What?" And I was like, "What do you mean you don't know what the fucking Flintstones is?" And like the whole, the Flintstones go up to the drive-in theater, and there's like the speaker that they put in the car, and like he was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, they didn't have surround sound. They had individual that you put in your car. And he's like, that's not true. And I'm like, I'm telling you. It was the wild fucking West back then, my man. We used to have payphones.
There's a lot of little bits of tech that we kind of take for granted of how much they actually changed, like, how we live on just a day-to-day kind of mundane level.
I mean, smartphones, like doctors and stuff back in, like, is it the late 80s? They had pagers. Where it was like a very basic text message, but not really. And what you do is you'd phone someone's pager number, and it would just beep a lot and display a number. You couldn't leave a message. It just went, this number called your pager, and then you go, oh, I need to go to a landline and call this number because it's obviously important and they need me. Or like, it's like, that's, my God, that's the dark ages compared to, I literally get fucking push notifications from the weather going, bitch, I'm about to rain. And I'm like,
you have to stop. You have to you have to carefully select your home appliances to make sure that they don't send you text messages.
People can get fridges that text you and go,
I don't
motherfucker, you're low on eggs.
I don't want people to text me, let alone my fucking fridge.
Our old Hoover, and we've since replaced it because it was shit at everything else. It had Wi-Fi.
Why? What was it looking
at?
What
did the Wi-Fi do?
Was it looking at pornography?
When you pressed, there was like a boost button, and if you accidentally pressed the Wi-Fi button next to it, it flashed you obnoxiously for a while. Is what the Wi-Fi button did.
What was it?
I think there was an app, and you could track like how long you'd hoovered for.
How much did it suck today?
Yeah. It was a big selling feature. I didn't notice it. I didn't buy it for that reason. I got it because it was on offer at the time or something. Yeah. But it was on the box. It was like they were making this big deal about the Wi-Fi and the fact that it had an app, and I was like,
the apps always suck.
Unless the device literally cannot function unless it requires some external controls.
They say that, and then they just go, "Oh, if you're not using the app, it won't work."
Well, yeah, but I mean, a type of device that cannot.
I know what you mean.
Like a thing like that.
I love how you can get Roombas that send you text messages of distress. Like I've seen literally like people who have Roombas. They're like, there's like a step in their kitchen or whatever, and it's gotten stuck on it, and it's sending them texts at work going, "I'm stuck. I'm stuck."
Help.
Imagine if you gave your cat access to a fucking smartphone. That's what I'm hungry, and it's just that, and I'm like, why would I still not be mad that my fucking vacuum cleaner is texting me at work going, "Bitch, the cat fucking kicked me and I'm upside down. You need to come home."
I mean, yeah, not to be too to make a very timely reference here to Old Man Yells at Cloud.
Ooh.
But yeah, I think and I think there's definitely a thing of that with like a show that's been running as long as The Simpsons, that it started in a different era, and like I think some shows that are even long running now, they are still within the same broad era of like a lot of things, and so they don't feel like they've aged as much. Even like if you take, say, the start of The Simpsons and then flip to 2004. Like, I think that feels like way more time has passed than from the start of Bob's Burgers to the end of Bob's Burgers. I think that's just because the transition from the 80s to the 2000s, sort of the wide adaptation, adoption of the internet as a thing. I think that's it just leads to the world changing in a lot of subtle ways that you don't notice. It's like how horror films have to now constantly come up with a reason why people can't use their phones. Because it's just a thing people have to worry about. But I might also be completely wrong about that. Feel free to yell at me in the comments. It's all engagement. But yeah, that my discussion of The Simpsons and the terror of getting older and watching a world change around you that you don't fully understand anymore aside. I'm all done.
Terrifying. Thank you.
Do we have any questions at all?
And where do you send your questions / threats / promises of undying love to? TheDrummerMatt at gmail.com. Please, he's so lonely. I forgot to smile during that part. Sorry.
I can't move my arm enough to do like a lonely face because I can't.
You got to go.
No. I don't think I can do that. Hang on. Like that. What's that? Was that lonely? Why is that lonely?
That's cute. That's like modern cutie face. You go.
It's like the modern heart thing, which is like you do it like this.
You do it like that, or you do it like this if you're into K-pop.
Because you're young and you have arthritis or something. I don't like why. What is this? Anyway, this.
I would try and describe this for audio listeners, but I feel it's beyond.
Anyway, questions.
Yes.
So, Thef.
I didn't know I put that in my bag until I left. So actually you can't.
Was that theft or theft?
Theft. With a double F.
Oh, theft. Okay, then theft. I'm innocent. Hi.
James Worktop has commissioned you to produce a musical. Hang on, have we done this one?
No.
Have we done a musical?
No.
We did a musical. We did a musical last time.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
We did.
Wow, drama.
Yeah. I caught it. I didn't remember the question earlier, and now I did. Right. Have I asked you? You've got a gym question, Snipe. Have I asked you that one before?
Ask it me again. I don't care. No one talks to me about the gym.
Excellent lack of preparation. I've got a system now to work out which questions. This one came through on the... Yeah, the last one was earlier than this. Yeah. This one came through on the 10th of July, so this is definitely a new one.
Okay, cool. That one's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Snipe. This is from Noah, they, them.
Hi, Noah.
Snipe. As a relatively new gym goer, what does progress actually look or feel like? So we've got a bit of context here if you want to hear that first.
Yes,
or do you
absolutely.
Want to
Give me context, yes.
So for context, I'm trying to increase general strength, especially while bench pressing. Every now and then I can add an extra small plate, but I don't know how to make that big jump and actually lift progressively heavier stuff.
Okay. Well, did they say they were like months new at the gym?
They just said relatively new.
Relatively new.
Not sure.
Okay, see, the problem with gym is that it takes a fucking long time. That's the problem. It takes a long while to see progress, but and the progress you do get can be quite slow going, so you don't notice it. A lot of people who will lift weights and stuff like that will keep like notes. I do that. I keep kind of like a little thing in my in one of my notes apps, which is like basically talking about like, oh yeah, this is my current maximum, that kind of thing. And the problem with a lot of weightlifting is you can get into a plateau, which it doesn't sound like you're in, but I don't know your situation exactly, but plateaus can usually be broken with kind of just changing your routines up a little bit, maybe swapping out for less weights with way more reps. That tends to help a lot of people. So if you're saying you want to gain strength, so you're going to be wanting to do from like 8 to 14, I can't remember. But like maybe you lower your weights down and you bench maybe an extra 5 reps. And you do that 3-4 like sets, or maybe sometimes you can lift heavier, but instead of waiting 30 seconds a minute in between sets, you wait 2.5 minutes, maybe 3, because then you give yourself a little bit longer to go, and then you do that, and then you go at it. It's the tricky thing about doing it is that it takes a while to notice. It can be very easy to miss the progress you have made. And everyone's body is slightly different. So if you are like, they're using they, them, so I'm not going to assume gender, but like people with higher testosterone in their body tend to see a lot more progress a lot quicker, because that's just the muscle building chemical. People with less have more trouble. And the thing is, like, I know you will be chasing that I need my new personal best. And it is very frustrating. Like, I've been stuck on the same kind of, like, biceps, like, weights for months. But I've increased the amounts of reps. So instead of doing 10, I'm doing 12. Which still puts me at about that kind of, like, 65-70% kind of, like, strain. So I still get that kind of, like, that muscle kind of interaction. I still warm them up. But it just kind of pushes me a little bit harder. Because, I don't need to tell you, doing 2 extra reps might not seem like much, but it is. Especially if you're lifting heavy. So, I mean, all else fails, get a gym bro and, like, do what I did. Pick the largest motherfucker out in the gym and go, you! Help me. And hope that they do. I was lucky, mine did. But the thing about, like, really impressive gym bros is that they are typically fucking nerds, and they will do anything to talk about lifting, and they
well, there's the classic joke of that, like like a good half of all of the bodybuilders out there started doing it because they watched too much Dragon Ball Z.
You'd be shocked at how accurate that is. Like, you'll see like you'll see the Arnold Schwarzenegger dudes in there with like a fucking Vegeta hoodie, and you're like,
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah. We all know exactly why you're here.
Yeah. And, like, who's gonna fucking say shit to that guy?
They're the one people who I won't, as a joke, refer to it as Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I will. Because I know they're gonna go, don't be mean.
Because they are large and I am small and they can eat me.
Yeah. But no, you are going to be doing amazing, honey. It does feel kind of shitty, but I recommend make notes, take progress photos. That's what really helps me in my brain. Like, because I'm kind of like... I
assume there's apps as well. You say notes. I assume there's apps that you can track this sort of thing. I don't know.
I literally just track my... I just track my weight, because, like, you get on those machines that are like, it puts a current through you, so it detects how much body fat you have. Nonsense. Don't listen to them. They're bullshit. One of them told me I had 98% muscle and, like, 2% body fat, and I'm like, sure, Jan... Obviously, that's not true. Do I look like I'm on, like, a severe dehydration cut? No. Very silly. But yeah, like, it sounds like a cop-out, but everyone's progress is going to be different. But I can recommend that for me, it helps taking progress pictures, like, wear the same clothes in a mirror, like, you know, wear a bra, or, like, you know, like, be shirtless or whatever you feel comfortable with. And just kind of take photos at the same angles and just, like, every 6 months, just check in. And kind of like, I always put like kind of like what my max is at that point, and kind of, and yeah, like especially when you get to like heavier kind of weights and what the limits of what your body is naturally going to be able to do, your progress is really going to slow down, because it's going to be so much. It's like, speaking of weightlifters being nerds, it's like World of Warcraft. When, you know, you get to like nearly the top level and it just takes forever to level up. It's that kind of thing. But just know that is super fucking cool what you're doing. And it helps to ask. Because again, bodybuilders are fucking nerds. And yeah, like maybe like, you know, just, there might be like, you know, like, if you are safely able to drink energy drinks, maybe a pre-game, like, a pre-workout, like energy drink might work. To kind of help you feel a bit more energized, if they work for you. There's loads of little bits and bobs you can do. Like, there's loads of, like, just pre-workout, like, shakes you can have that kind of have,
that's probably going to differ, like, for every person.
Again, it does differ, because for me, I was falling asleep because I had undiagnosed ADHD, and having, like, a pint of Red Bull beforehand was just making me just, like, fall asleep at on the bench, and I'm like, this isn't helping.
But turns out stimulants have a very different effect on you.
Yeah, but like maybe for them it like works really well. But yeah, I hope I do ramble a lot, and I haven't prepared a statement. But yeah, I hope that helps, and thank you very much for asking me a gym question, because I'm a fucking nerd and I could literally talk about this shit all day.
Nice. Very quick follow-up question from me, just because I'm intrigued after all of that. What's the general difference between doing heavier weights less versus doing lighter weights with more reps?
That's
like,
an excellent question.
Do you just need to do a mix, or is there like, you know, there's like two separate paths you can go down?
Honestly, I think it's like
your body's tech tree or whatever, like you can like, or whether you have to do a bit of both.
Well, okay, so what I do is I do strength training rather than like tone training. So while I don't have as much definition as, especially not, say, if someone with a lot of testosterone in their system would be doing the same thing as me. Like, say, if Wib was doing it, he'd be shredded, and I'm just like, hi, I'm strong, and no one believes me. But like, yeah, like I say, there's I can never remember how to pronounce it. It's like hypertrophic. It's not hypertrophic. That's scarring. It starts with an H, and it's a type of training where you do like 5 reps by 5 sets, which typically increases muscle growth. So for like tone, as well as like, you know, a bit of strength. Whereas, yeah, so there are differences I don't know off the top of my head, because that's not like something I have, again, a prepared statement on. But yeah, like it is just kind of keeping your muscles warm for as long as possible in a safe kind of like you're not going to snap them kind of way. So, you know, like I did the 5x5 training for a few days, and then I was like down for like a couple of weeks because it was just too intense for me. So I was like, okay, and now I'm scared to do it again, even though I'm like, I'm my nutrition's a lot better now, but it's a bit tricky. But yeah, I hope that's answered your question. It probably hasn't. I'm sorry, DrummerMatt.
He knows, all right. DrummerMatt.
But yeah.
Right. One more. Bup.
I'm really worried I got all that wrong now. So, but do your own research as well, because
yeah,
I fully have my tablets worn off, and that's the excuse I'm going to have. And also, I don't know everything, and I just know what really works for my body.
Yeah,
so
it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to YouTube a caveat this.
It really makes me feel nice when people ask me about that, and I don't want to give someone bunk advice that won't do well for them.
Fair, but yeah.
But yeah. But thank you for the question.
Last question. This is from Lux. I got an apology to me because I'm not involved in this question.
Lux, how could you?
Well, no, they apologised. It's all good.
Okay.
So, you really got me addicted to Vampire Survivors.
Sorry.
In
Isn't
brackets,
it good?
Thank you, with a question mark.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask what your favourite character to play is. I love the flower-shitting dog and the garlic guy.
I always the one I've played the most.
I like Red Death.
I'm getting this right.
Is it Red Death?
Yes, there is vampires. Yeah, there is.
There are vampires. Don't worry, everyone.
Yeah, sorry. I was typing Vampire Survivors and I fully just yes, there is Red Death, yes.
I think Red Death is really good. He starts with that with the sides fucking around, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I quite like Red Death, yeah. He's fun.
I mostly the one I played the most is Toasty. Now, how Toasty works is that they start off with 1 health, and once you get to level 100, they then get like 100,000 health. So they basically become indestructible if you can get them there. However, what you can do, if you have a lot of coins from playing the game a fuckload, like I have, is you can buy so many golden eggs that you have then got Toasty to have a completely normal amount of health. So it has a few hundred health by default, which is like every other character. But you've also buffed every other stat through the fucking ceiling. And you get, because there's various other things that they just had high stats in other areas. So yeah, I play Toasty the most at this point, because I've just leveled them up. They've got over 1,000 golden eggs.
I also really like Christine, because she starts with is it Gorgeous Moon? I can't remember. That's one of my favourite ones to get. I really like that one.
Yeah, that's that would be my favourite character.
Ciuto. I like him because he's tricky to kind of get up to that level where he transforms and gets like a massive increase in speed. I think that's a really fun challenge. I like doing that. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And he starts off with the spikes coming in from the top and bottom, I think.
Yeah. I forget the name of basically everything.
I don't know the names, I know the abilities. Well, I know what the abilities do.
I know what the icon is, and I know what they do. And that's all I need to know.
DrummerMatt, what's your favourite? Please say O Sole.
Yeah, what you said.
Sole mio.
Sole mio.
Garlic guy sounds fun.
You could just say Amogus.
They have Amogus in there.
There is there was a crossover with Among Us, so
Genevieve's
a bunch of
really
the
cool.
crew, a bunch of the crewmen.
Wait, there's Colin the Caterpillar.
There is Colin
That's
the Caterpillar.
DrummerMatt's
I forget what his
favourite.
name.
Sammy.
Sammy is the best character in the game for grinding out money. I broke the game to the point that I was getting so much money it had lagged to do like a frame every 5 seconds.
Yeah. There's you can't see it properly. There's Sammy. He is literally Colin the Caterpillar cake. Yeah. And he is very cool.
Good.
And dope. And all my homies love Sammy. And I got my father-in-law got me Giggles the Caterpillar cake for my birthday, which is cool.
So you've been accepted into the tribe.
I've been accepted into the culture. The English culture has embraced me. I am complaining about the weather, and I have a cake that is a caterpillar. It's pretty cool.
But yes, any other questions?
Nice. No, that's us done.
No, well, thank you very
excellent.
much. If you want to send in, that was really fun. If you want to send in any questions or threats or, whatever, it's TheDrummerMatt@gmail.com. We look forward to being offended and or threatened by you. It's a highlight of our
And
day.
also, what you should do, because one of the problems we've had is since we've moved the podcast onto its own channel for like algorithmic purposes, is though it's good for the main channel, the side this side channel obviously doesn't get as many, so the podcast doesn't get as many views. So what we need you to do is, if you know anyone that you think would like this podcast,
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Matt, what is happening to you?
His dick's being possessed. What's happening?
You grab your PC, for God's sake. Your laptop is about to fall off the fucking thing from the look of it. What's happening?
God, leg cramp.
At night?
Sake,
I'm gonna have to report this. He has leg cramp at night.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, if you with your foot push the front part of your foot onto the floor.
He has taken his headphones off. He cannot hear.
He can't hear me. He can't hear me.
Okay.
Wib,
so
he has had. Did you know, viewer? And this is completely true. Leg cramps. 3 out of 4 leg cramps happen at night, and the reported
just
ones
witnessed
anyway.
one.
Ugh, that was horrific.
It looked.
Apologies.
Are you okay? Because it looked really
I just
funny.
moved my leg ever so slightly and then got... I don't even know what muscles are. What's the one on your back of your thigh? Hamstring?
No, that's the back of
Sounds
your
like
calf.
Sounds like you're getting kind of a sciatic nerve issue almost.
Yeah,
I don't even
almost.
know, but... Oh, man, that was... Ow.
That was
So
very
I
intense.
guess my point I was getting to was if you know anyone in your life that really wants to see a man suffer from extreme leg pain out of nowhere,
No. Leg cramp.
2 hours into a podcast,
leg cramp that's happened at
then
night.
you
which-
recommend the MisanthroPod to them and tell them that they should watch it, and also recommend it to your enemies as a joke.
Yeah. And also, I'll pin in the comments driverless horses. Everyone can go listen to that.
Yeah.
We do a
Yes.
thing where Adam brings me a news topic, we chat about it, and then we have 2 or 3 random dice roll topics that we just chat shit about. And it's really unfunny, and we aren't like, it's not just me without any like editing, it's fine. And that would be cool. If you wanted.
Check out driverless horses.
And I don't think that I've had leg cramp on the show once. So if that turns you off, that's okay. I understand. You like what you
I can
like.
try. I can
Go.
try and build up a bit of leg cramp
Could you?
for the next episode.
Of driverless horses, I mean.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. When you're recording your next episode of the podcast, I'll come into the room and have leg cramp.
You do that?
Would that help?
Really?
I'll try. You know, you can't really guarantee it's going to pop off.
No, I mean, if you get aroused during it, that's okay. I'm sure we can edit around that. That's fine.
Like
but-
you know, Matt was bringing his A game here. Like making it so we're going to get the mad numbers, and we appreciate that. We appreciate that. Man, that's really good of you.
Yeah, it's the effort I put in.
Yeah.
to getting
that-
ass cramp.
It was definitely the middle of my leg, not my
Not your
lower arse.
gluteus maximus.
Oh man, it's that pain that's so painful. It's like makes you laugh because you just don't know how else to deal with it.
Okay.
Sorry if that looks dramatic.
Oh my god.
I don't know what it looked
was
like.
that actually a hamstring and I'm just an idiot? The
I
hamstring.
don't know. Also, the podcast is over.
Okay,
we should end it.
Yeah.
Okay, I should. Okay, we're ending it.
We should make like Series 1 Homer Simpson and end it.
No. I'm not doing that. Oh, is your hamstrings all sore?
Oh yeah, no, a bit, but yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
Okay. That I need to very quickly. I had really bad calf cramp yesterday, last night.
This is not what the podcast is about now.
It is now. I need to, because I'm obsessed with this and I can't stop saying it. And I was like, it was really bad and it had cramped real bad and it was still sore. So I was having trouble walking around. I was like, I'll Google leg cramp and see if there's any like massages I can do or any kind of thing they recommend that I might have missed. And I read this page and it was like, and I cackled, and Wib heard me laugh from downstairs. I cackled so hard. And it was, one of the subheaders was leg cramp at night. And I was like, oh, it is at night, yes. And it was 3 to 4 cases of leg cramp happen at night, as have been reported. And I'm like, who's reporting this? Like, hello? I have leg cramp. And they're like, at night? Shit! That's the 3rd out of the 4 people who've called in to report leg cramp today. And I keep going, oh, I've got leg cramp. I should report this. In like a really grim tone. And I cannot stop saying it. And I'm very happy about that. So thank you very much for listening to the MisanthroPod. If you need to report it, you can. Not like that, though.
Email in how often you, when you're...
Yeah, when does your legs cramp? When does your legs cramp?
Stop.
Welcome to the MisanthroPod, the premier talking about the gym, general things for the first half an hour. Technically, it's a media podcast, but now it's about leg cramp. That's just what we're doing
3
now.
out of 4 of them happen at night.
The podcast should have ended 10 minutes ago, but it didn't. It didn't. No, we're just carrying on with
I'm
the leg
sorry,
cramp thing now.
DrummerMatt.
We watched 3 new episodes before we went over the 2-hour mark.
Yeah. And also, DrummerMatt, I think you should report your leg cramp.
All right, I will do.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, can I go to bed now?
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back. We love you and sorry. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.